Hey guys, it's that guy. I just wanted to give my overall thoughts and review on the Testfire, and well, this video serves as to clear up some stuff. Maybe I wasn't loud enough in the last videos. I don't know. I didn't even upload them yet. But overall review. Overall, the game just feels like way smooth. It feels smoother than the first game, and as I go through this little follow up, is not that there were things that the first Splatoon could have did better. Is more of an emphasis on how much they did, how much more like polishing and refining and stuff like that. So as motion controls go, yesterday I said that the motion controls were like a little more fluid. They felt like a little bit more better to control. Very responsive, and it's very interesting, like how the aiming works, because you have to use the right Joy-Con to aim, and you don't have to use like all you have to do is just move the right one, which was very interesting. And I tried it by the Switch itself. I took it off TV mode and just used the Switch itself, and that was actually very interesting. It actually works. I didn't think it would work. I thought that you having to move the whole console just to shoot, I thought that would have been like a hindrance, but it actually works. You don't have to tilt it so extremely to aim by using the Switch itself. So that was really good. That was a concern I had. I thought you would definitely need to use a TV because of motion controls doing this. I didn't use the there was an option to switch to regular controls for like a regular shooter, but I didn't do that because it's more accurate to use motion controls when you're playing Splatoon, because you're not just like shooting other people, you're spraying the ground, you're trying to hit walls, so motion controls do help. But anyways, the game itself, the weapons, now they nerfed the roller, and I mean it's vertical splash, vertical flick, yeah, the vertical flick, where you get a longer line of paint going down. They nerfed it a little bit, like they nerfed the damage, because in the first Splatoon, like pretty much any drop of paint you get on you from a roller, you get killed. They scaled it down a little bit, but I think I was like hitting people with like the tip of like the end of the paint line. But other than that, it was a very, I'll just go in order of every weapon. The roller was very satisfying. The whole vertical flick where you jump in the air, that is very satisfying. That was a very great buff to the weapon, because it was very hard to scale up walls and such. So that was great. Let's see. It looks like it takes more ink to just do your sub weapons now. Like I was using splat bombs with the charger, and it looked like it took more ink than it normally does. But other than that, that was cool. The charger itself, it requires when you move, which is another buff I'm going to talk about. When you move to okay, let me try that again. When you're ready to shoot somebody, when you charge up all the way to shoot somebody, you can move, which most of you have seen. It's a nice buff, but you don't hold it for a long time, which was interesting, because I thought it was an indefinite hold on the charge. It's about like 1.5 seconds, but other than that, it was very, very helpful. It won't be helpful for like me and other players who don't use chargers, because that would greatly help e-leaders. Oh yeah, and speaking of alternate weapons, I'm going back to the roller right quick. I wonder how crazy the dynamo roller is going to be with that. And I also wonder like what's going to happen with the ink brushes, because maybe you can flick up and down multiple times, I guess. Who knows? The splatter shot is, I mean, it's just how it was in the first game. And the splat dualies are interesting. It takes a lot of hits to actually splat somebody. I think it takes 6 shots. I'm not sure, but I was like fighting this guy like yesterday, and I hit him like about like 4 times maybe. So it looks like you actually need 6 shots to take somebody down with the splat dualies. Other than that, the roll is actually very helpful. I thought it was gonna be very what's the word? I thought it was gonna be very advantageous, very cheap. Like, I thought there was like no really good counter for it, but as I was rolling, I was still being able to be splatted. So if you just keep good track of your opponent, then you won't have a problem with them rolling. And like, you don't roll that far of a distance, so I mean it's helpful, but it's not crazy to where like people just never get killed. Let's see. As far as the specials go, I'm not liking. I'll just go ahead with what I don't like. I'm not liking the whole explosion thing too much, where you jump and then you slam down and there's like a big field of ink. I'm not liking that because people can take big advantage of it. Like if somebody's activating it, like I wish it was faster. I wish the slam down was faster because people can take advantage of it. They can just leave. They can like step back, and then right after you slam down, they can just take you out. Like let's say it's just a splat charger, they can just take you out quickly with that. The jetpack thing, it doesn't. I wish it gave like a little bit more height. And controlling it is very tough. You got to get used to the controls with aiming your shots, and it helps. Like if you're using the right stick to aim, like it's too big of a swing. So, but it helps if somebody's like behind you and you're trying to hit them fast. But it's too big of a swing to like aim precisely. So you want to use the motion controls on that. Which again, that helps with the whole argument for using motion controls. Let's see, the Stingray, the ray thing that the charger had, that looks, to me it looks a little bit more useful than a killer whale, because you can move it, which is very interesting, and it lasts for a very, very long time. But yeah, I'm okay with that one. It's cool. And what was the last one? It was the rockets, the dual rockets where you can like shoot somebody from afar. I think that might be the best special because it helps you figure out where the opponent is. Like, oh man, it's so great. You can find out where the opponent is. Let's say if it's like Splat Zone. Well, you know what? I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, very good. Like, I like all the specials. It's just that they could be like countered quickly, which is actually very interesting. I think that helped balances out the game a little bit more because, like, look at Kraken for example. There's no way to really counter that except for running, and they could like catch up to you. Yeah, and like the old Splatoon, there was a lot of specials that you just couldn't really counter that well. But in this one, it looks like a lot of the specials are pretty much countered very well. Oh yeah, back to the rockets thing. Like it's great. And like you can die from like just one rocket, but that's only if you're really not paying attention. If you have enough